I want to show you how to play Human, Only Human by the Human League. If you want the letter notes for that, you can go to LetterNotePlayer.com, have them right there, downloaded, printed in front of you as you work on the piece. I want to start off by talking about the harmony. Everything is built off of a D flat ninth chord. D flat, F, A flat, C, E flat. So you've got, it's that sound that makes it. Usually I'll have a D flat down here, and then we'll have the rest of the chord right there. So you might see in a chord chart where it's an F minor 7th, but in reality it's built off of this D flat root. So the whole thing works off of there. Now there are two other chords that show up occasionally. You'll have an E flat chord that'll show up, and then technically you could hear this F minor chord, but that's all within this D flat ninth sound. So it starts off on D flat and it'll end there. Now when you're coming from, you're actually going between an E flat and an F minor sound, E flat, F minor sound. So as it's coming up there, there's a little bit of progression, but it's still built in and tied to that D flat bass. The opening lines, they start off with a rhythmic pulse behind it, but they've got a bass, D flat, I counted about 24 beats, 6 measures that they do that, and they'll stay on that D flat, and then there's a glissando that comes down into this chord. They're going into the chord I showed you. And that glissando, because of this D flat, all the black notes are in that key. So as they come down, all they're going to do is they're going to come down on the black notes. So the gliss that you hear coming down on the organ, you've got this D flat. And then when you're ready, hold the D flat in the right hand, come up here, top it out with the left hand, and start your deal with the right hand coming down, and you're sliding right into these pitches. So the left hand is going to slide all the way down to the D flat, the right hand's going to slide all the way down and land on these notes, F, A flat, C, E flat that I showed you with. So now I'll do it a little bit faster. And then you go right into, so then the notes go F, A flat, E flat, G and B flat. You have an E flat down here. So when we go from here, you just take 3 of those notes, skip the C, go to the E flat there. Now whenever we do that scene, all the way through the piece, the bass is going to walk up. E flat, F, G, A flat, always. So when we've got, and then we'll usually go back to a D flat ninth there to get that E flat on top. Now the first time you do that, after this glissando coming down, we have this chord, then they immediately, now I'm going to cross over because I sustained these pitches right here, and then we're going to play A flat, G, E flat, and the reason I sustained this is because as soon as I play that, you've got to be ready to hit the G and the A flat and the A flat and the C together again. So now we'll go. Then the melody comes in, the vocal comes in. So when the melody comes in, it's going to start on this E flat. Same thing, you've got the same notes. Now then, go ahead and play the chord. His melody goes up to a B flat. He goes, actually he goes, but we're going to put the chords in there. this comes down, dee-da-doo, the bass will just going to keep going there, and then we'll go right back to the chord. Now together. Goes back to the chord, and then we repeat that. Goes back to the chord, and we repeat it. And this time we just, then the music just fills out, so he doesn't finish that vocal. He comes down and goes, you get to that chord, and then they're going to have these bass notes. That'll set us up each time, D flat, E flat, F. And he takes off with the melody. Now what I'm going to do in the left hand, I'm going to go D flat, E, F, da 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 da, E flat, D flat, E, F, E flat, F. So we've got, now the right hand notes are E flat, F, G, A flat, G, F, F, E flat, C, E flat, F, G, A flat, G, F, G, F, E flat, A flat, E flat. So the first time you go E flat, C, the second time you go E flat, A flat, E flat. Then it does it again. Now this time you're going to hit the A flat, and then we're going to go right back to, so that's going to end up on an E flat chord. Then we're going to go back to this, and it sets up the chorus. So that's where we're headed now. Now let's go through this thing with the left hand. We're going to go into the chorus. Now what do you do? The melody goes da da da, and then we're going to play the human, then skip down here to the E flat. And it does that several times, so when we get to the chorus, you go to there, go back to the D flat and the bass. Then it repeats. And when the melody goes A flat, E flat, on that E flat we'll put this chord back in there. So we go. Right after that they're going to do this again. Just like in the verse. But this time it's a little different. So now these notes are A flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, G, F, E flat, C, A flat, E, F, G, A flat, G, F, E, A flat, E flat, A flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, G, F, E flat. Then this is where it goes to D flat, E flat, F, A flat, D flat, C, A flat, F, B flat. So when you do that last little lick, what I do is I put an F with that D flat. And when I go to the D flat here, I'm going to hit a B flat in the left hand. When I hit the B flat at the end, I'm going to go to an E flat right there. And then remember, we can always go right back to that chord, and that'll be a little buffer chord to start over what we're going to do next. From the beginning, we'll take the chorus. They actually throw in a deal right here that's a little bit hard to play because they throw in a They throw in that little thing, and I can't make it happen. What I probably should do is cross over, because you go right to a chord right there. So you've got and then we go, he doesn't give you any time for there. There's a couple times where you don't have time to do much right there. You've got, you can't really hit that chord and go on, because when you hit the chord, you've got to be ready to go. Right back into this E flat, D, C, right off the bat, so you don't really have time to put a chord in. Now comes the chord. Whoops, I played an E flat there in the bass. There it is. Then your E flat. When they hit the mistakes, that's where she comes in with, and then immediately now right there on that chord, I cannot make out what's sung or said. I can't make out the words, but there's some vocal that goes in there behind it, and then comes back with human. No vocal on this one. And then the chord again, and this is where he says one more time, please forgive me. Then she starts up, and when she starts talking, it goes back to that D flat that we heard at the beginning. And then there's a lick that comes in right at the end of her first two lines. And it goes all the way up to this octave. D flat, C, A flat, F, B flat. So you got, she's talking, telling her story. She keeps talking, telling her story, come down an octave. Her story ends and you go to, then both of them together, they sing, I'm only human. So after they sing that human together, then they kind of sing together, I am just a man, right there. So then that born to make mistakes comes back in. Then we end with human. And the song fades out.